Everybody, I know that you are surprised to see us. You are surprised to see us, but you really shouldn't be because it is election night in America, and you could not have this go down the way it's going down without some commentary from the big three and a few friends. Tiffany, how you feeling over there?
I am so happy right now. Like I had a feeling this was going to be a great night, but it is actually better than I expected. So I am ecstatic, and we still got California to go. So, and I love that all these races were called. There's nothing like super just pending. Even Virginia, which I was not sure about in terms of like the Attorney General's race. I was like, oh,
We,
okay.
I'm so thankful that you brought that's coming. We're gonna go through this but I don't know as much about the Virginia race as you do, so I'm so glad that you brought that up. I mean, we got people like y'all. Thank y'all for coming. If you're watching us on the X, please join us on the YouTube because we got some guests. And we're gonna bring in our first. We're gonna bring all the guests because we have to take people on the stage, but bring that first and foremost, Charlotte Clymer, a content creator. Charlotte, what all do you do? I know you, of course, do your amazing content. I follow you on the Twitter platform that some people call X. I won't call excrement, but and also on Instagram and on the TikTok. And I think you also have a really popular Substack, correct?
Yes, sir, I do. It's called Charlotte's Web Thoughts.
I subscribe, but Charlotte, I feel
You
like
do.
I haven't gotten an update in a while, or maybe I've set it to. I got to go back because I have, I followed everybody's Substack like a dumbass, and therefore I get 20 emails an hour from Substack. So I got to go and make sure that I'm getting yours directly and checking it out clearly. So how can the people watching right now? So y'all, if you're watching, get your damn pens and paper because you're gonna take some damn notes because there's so much to talk about. Charlotte, how can they follow you right now?
Well, I appreciate that. CharlotteClymer.substack.com. But I got to say, Zach and Tiff have some of the best commentary on social media when it comes to Democratic politics. So make sure y'all are following them and retweeting and amplifying their commentary tonight because it's a damn good night and you want folks to know what they're doing. So
it's a damn, and Kenny's coming, y'all, at some point. He is coming. It's a damn good night. And joining us also on this damn good night is the birthday boy. Look, people, this man, I got to make him big. It's his night. It's not our night. This is his night.
Hold on, but where's the yellow shirt? The yellow here.
I had a producer text me like, this is so inappropriate for television.
He was like,
it's my birthday sweater. I have to wear it.
He was looking like a dime, Tiff. I have to give him all his tens across the board. Thank you so much for joining us on your birthday.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear your commentary on New York as the New Yorker in the house. And so, Kevin, have you created and started a Substack yet?
I have. I mean, Charlotte is way ahead, but I am getting started over there too. I just had a piece in Zateo actually yesterday on there, so you can find my Substack there about why Usha Vance is a villain and not a victim. So check it out. Let me know what you think. But yeah, no, big week. And honestly, despite all the narratives, Democrats pulled through across the board. So and I second what Charlotte says, that actually all three of you really have some of the best commentary and takes. So really appreciate that you do the show and that you are willing to say things that don't necessarily always get the viral treatment, but need to be said, and we need more of that. So
yeah, we ain't getting the viral treatment, but damn it, the treatment's getting the truth. And it's not only getting it from us, we have another big special guest, the one and the only is in the house, Sylvia Salazar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My friend, how are you? Uh-oh, Sylvia, I don't hear you. Hold up.
We see you. We don't hear you.
Say that. It might be, you know what? You may be muted, or it could be where you have to click changing your speaker settings over to your laptop, because your laptop is probably trying to feed your laptop sound. So just switch it over to your Shure. It's coming. Not yet, but it's coming. It's gonna fire. We're gonna give it. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Keep talking, but keep playing with it. to get it working, because we're still waiting on Kid in the show. We got the people in the house. Thank you, Bradley, for joining us tonight. The whole crew. We are currently at 120 live viewers while Sylvia's getting that sound. And sometimes, Sylvia, you may have to come in, come back out, but we're gonna be here. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. And it's a damn party that we have all deserved. It's long overdue. Starting first and foremost with Hell. The first one, two of the first races that were called. Mikey, Cheryl, and Abigail Spanberger. Abigail's race was called first, and I'm just going to open up the floor and say, like, what do you guys think about this? Whew.
Well, I'm actually very surprised by New Jersey. I think a lot of people thought that race was going to be super tight. It was looking like that, but I think what we are going to find out is independents most definitely voted for Mikey and said, forget you to Jack Citronella, which we are all. This is his third time running, so people knew who he was, and they basically said he can go to hell. So I appreciate that. I think the one thing that people are gonna start to notice is like the kind of the trends in terms of exit polling. And Mikey got 90% of the Black vote, which is awesome. So Black voters turned out. Latinos have shifted back to the 60% range, where
4% of Latino voters voted for Mikey Cheryl in this race.
And
can you hear me now?
Yes,
Finally.
Yes,
that was very embarrassing.
No, you're fine. Those are things we're going to notice as we go forward. So the exit polls are going to start to make sense.
Tiffany, okay, so when you say that we had, what was the Black voter turnout for Cheryl again?
90%, 91%, I think it was.
Listen, people, that was something that I was looking at and considering very, very carefully. And let me tell you why. I'm going to keep it a buck. If what Black people in America are going through right fucking now has not woken up to get them out to the polls, then there's no fucking hope. There was no fucking hope. This could not be no fucking 80% Democratic, Black turnout. It had to literally be, for the Democrat. No, I had to see it above 90% to know that Black people are mobilized, that they're going to do what needs to be done in 2026 and in 2028. And I was looking at New Jersey as a test area. I was looking at New Jersey as a test area because the deep levels of voter suppression and disenfranchisement, the whole entire machine was in heavy rotation in this state. Cucciarella, I don't know the man. I'm gonna call that man Cucciarella. Cucciarella literally went into barbershops like a cockroacharella and was working like and in the barbershop, talking all kind of misogynistic bullshit about Mikey Cheryl. And the fact that Black voters said, nah, bro, you can get out of here with that makes me very, very happy. I was very happy to see the Cheryl campaign embrace Ras Baraka, someone who I have a lot of respect for, a lot of like for, and get him involved. And it's just good to see that didn't work. Now, Sylvia, I want to know, what are your thoughts about the Latino turnout in New Jersey?
What was the number?
64%. Hold on. Yeah, right, Tiff? Am I right? Tiffany is the data guru, right? Or is it 64 or 62?
64. That's what I saw.
64%. So, Sylvia, what do you think about that?
Well, I need my people to, just like you are mad at your people, I need my people to understand that they were duped the last time. And if you see this before, I mean, not even just this election, the last few weeks of seeing polling, the Latino polling is going down and down and down and down. He's getting more and more and more unpopular. Everything happening is affecting Latinos across the country in many different ways. The economy is number one for Latino families, just like for Black Americans. And they're starting to see what is happening. And also, I know that immigration doesn't tend, immigration is obviously a very important topic for our community, but it is like, usually on polls, it ranks like about 5th from what I read this week. But what is happening regarding not immigration policy, but how they handle immigration or how they mishandle immigration is really, really waking a lot of people up. So I think that is contributing to the fact that we're going back to understanding that what the Republicans say is not really in the best interest of Americans, but for the billionaires and for themselves, and not for the American people. Now, that doesn't mean that the parties can go ahead and take our votes for granted. No, they need to fight for our votes, and hopefully they will learn from some of these amazing candidates like Zoran Mandani, that, I'm sorry, I was getting like blushed with his like Spanish ads. Oof. I mean, like, he is so cute. And if you see him, he started when it was still daylight, and it took him all day long to like do the Spanish ad until like he ended in the evening.
It was good.
Wow. You know, that is something that is big. So I know you guys are gonna pop in, pop out. Sylvia, give us a few minutes because I don't want you to pop out before we talk about the strategies that resulted in what we have happening in New York. Come on, like this is your big moment, right? Like I wanna know from you. Like you've lived in New York your whole life, right?
Yeah, pretty much, except for school.
Yeah, like except when you went to school and you've been on the ground, you've heard, and you have an exceptionally diverse friend group. You've talked to many people. I've seen you engage. You know, you're a very strong journalist and presence on multiple media platforms. Some that do lean to the right or fucking live in the goddamn right. But they are the fucking your ass on there, giving the liberal, the progressive, the democratic perspective at times as a strategist. What do you think about this huge win for the one and the only Zoran Mamdani?
Well, I do think it was a reminder that candidates and campaigns do matter so much. And of course, the policies are incredibly central to what he ran on and how he succeeded. But I was just watching the video he released, I think, yesterday, where he goes back to that cross street that just a year ago he was on, going viral originally for those street interviews with New Yorkers who were disaffected, who didn't support Kamala Harris, some who voted for Donald Trump, who ended up supporting him. And to see him go back to that street corner and finish out the video, it was an emotional thing to watch, where all those folks just 1 year later are saying, I can't wait to vote for you, or I voted for you already. And I think it's just a wonderful American story. As much racism and bigotry has been directed at him, and yet still he is living the American dream in some sense. So I thought it was a beautiful campaign. And I will say, I thought that what Cuomo did kind of in the final days of the campaign really was some of the more disgusting things we've seen from a Democrat in this city in a while. And obviously Sliwa and Trump, this was such a mess really from the beginning that I will say, you know, and people might get upset about this, I'm very happy that Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger also won, because I think we don't need to have one vision and one version of this party going forward. And that's certainly not how Democrats are going to win next year. And I think we tried a few different candidates and they've been successful in their context. And I think that should be the whole mission and project. But what was central across all candidates, especially, by the way, Spanberger, hammered affordability and housing just the same as Mamdani, and of course from a much more center position. So I think that's the takeaway, and I think we'd all do each other a favor to not kind of browbeat our own sort of biases of who we like better into the national framework, and take this as a great example of how we can win with the Big Ten.
Yes, indeed.
Tiff, I'm getting ready to come to you in a moment because Lou, like I need Tiffany to finish her statement. I'm sorry if I cut you off. I know there was a statement being finished. I do that, trying to keep it moving. We're gonna come back to, because I actually have some. Tiff has also been exceptionally involved in the New York race all over social media. Like she's been put into, to be honest about it, like, Tiff has been kind of put into some tough situations from her supporters and those people that love her, because you know, there's this whole entire Zoran Mamdani is not a real Democrat, and I think anyone who knows Tiffany is true blue Democrat. She may not be I'm the biggest shield of the shields, but Tiffany is definitely true blue. Before I go to Tiffany though, Charlotte, you're not still based in Texas, right? Or are you still in Texas?
No, I'm based in DC. Proudly from Texas though, but I'm based in DC.
So you're based in DC, and so what are some of the things? And what, because again, this race it's nationwide, but it was very heavily focused on and with East Coast support. So many content creators took trains to New York and campaigned for Mamdani. From multiple perspectives, multiple viewpoints, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, Zoran Mamdani, what I really loved about his campaign is that he did not throw.
You freeze?
I think so.
Oh, there you go. I think.
No, Charlotte.
It may have frozen. Look, right where Charlotte is having her moment, the motherfucking thing, the internet does what the internet does. You know what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
good, you're back. I'm gonna say Elon Musk. Elon Musk is watching. Charlotte, God.
Elon, stop messing with us. No, but Zohran Mamdani, and I'm not just going to single out Zohran Mamdani here. I'm going to say every Democratic candidate did a really great job tonight. Everyone who won, which is everybody, because every Democrat won. Everyone did a great job of not throwing marginalized communities under the bus, and I was really worried about that this year. I was worried that. I have a lot of respect for Abigail Spanberger. I think she's great. I think she's wonderful. I think she's a potential presidential candidate down the road. But I was a little worried that she was going to throw trans people under the bus. She didn't. She refused to take the bait. She refused to triangulate on our civil rights, and she won big. She didn't just win; she won big. And in doing so, she established, I think, an example for Democrats nationwide that you can focus on economic issues without targeting vulnerable populations. Bonnie, same thing. I mean, here you have this New Yorker who is living in a progressive city, and he didn't have to go to trans rights rallies, but he did. He didn't have to talk about trans rights as much as he did, but he did. I am so thankful for the fact that, given the relentless anti-trans propaganda by Republicans this year, especially over the past 2 months, that all these Democrats stood together and did not give in to hatred and bigotry. They focused on working class families. They focused on common sense national security issues. They talked to regular Americans and told them, we have your backs and we're not going to abandon you. And they won. And they made Republicans look like, excuse my language, they made Republicans look like fucking weirdos. Because they are fucking weirdos. And, I am just very, very proud to be a Democrat tonight. I am so damn proud to be a Democrat.
And we haven't been able to say that. Many people haven't been able to feel that pride in a while.
Not since Vice President Harris got the nomination. That's true.
Not since, yeah. I'm telling you, look, I feel it I feel it every fucking day. I feel it. Let me say why I feel it every day. Because even if we have not won, we are still doing what's right. We are the party. We're the good guy. We are the good guys.
Yes, we are.
We are the good guys. We are the last line defense for American democracy. And sometimes good guys fall, but they get back up and they keep fighting to the very, very, very end. Tiff, it's a big night. I know you got a lot of thoughts. I know you've also been really present on Twitter and getting the tweets and the data and the information. For Virginia, New Jersey, New York, thoughts or big revelations to share?
I don't think there's any big revelation other than that people turned out to vote. And when we vote, we win. This is not a hard concept. We've been saying this forever.
They got to update the slogan.
Come on, this is ridiculous. But it's the truth, right? If we turn out, then we will more than likely win. And what we know about 2024 is that people chose the couch. And unfortunately, that ended up with Donald Trump. And what we saw, New York had 2 million plus votes. That's impressive. That hasn't happened in a really long, since the 1969. This is a long time coming. And as someone who is born and raised in New York City, the last election that we had that I can even think of is David Dinkins. And the funny thing is, David Dinkins was also a Democratic socialist. Yep. And people were excited about him because it was something different, something new. Of course, the next election that changed. But what we're seeing with Mamdani is that the voters, yes, it is going to, when you do the math, it's going to be like 49-50. It's going to be very close in that range. And he's going to have to work hard to govern. And everybody knows that. He knows that he has to work hard for the city to be able to govern. But can we just enjoy the moment? I feel like people are so quick to just move to like the future of the party and what's going to happen now. Listen, enjoy the moment in the fact that New Yorkers turned out to vote. They did what they needed to do. Even if they voted for Cuomo, they still voted. They came out. They were excited about the race. They wanted change, and they did it. And Eric Adams is gone. That's a win. That's that is literally a win for everyone. When it comes to New Jersey, the fact that in New Jersey a Democrat has won 3 times in a row is a big deal. That has not happened. And then we also made history in Virginia. We now have the first Muslim woman to win statewide in this country ever, who is going to be the lieutenant governor. And the first woman to be governor. Like, we made history, and people get mad when I like talk about history, and they're like identity politics, blah blah blah. But guys, this is what Democrats do. We make history, and we need to enjoy it and embrace it. And we have, and even Mamdani, like you said himself, he is an Indian man who's of Muslim faith, and he is the first person to look like him to ever be mayor of the city. So there is a lot to celebrate tonight. And I get it. People don't like him, but guess what? I don't give a damn. I don't care about what you feel on social media. I really just don't.
And neither do the people of New York. Like, that's the fucking point. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what these pundits are out here trying to make this what they want to make it, because they know it keeps people. They want division. They want to, they don't know how to do anything but what they've always done. These motherfucking journalists only know how to do, these MSNBC motherfuckers, these CNN people, they only know how to do what they've always done. And they don't realize that we're living in a different day and age, or they don't care. One of the two things. And so they're wanting this division. They're wanting this story. Like, they know damn well these racists were called a long time ago. They're still sitting there looking stupid, not willing to call racist, to keep people sitting there who don't know how to use the internet watching. It's a new day, and I just can't wait to see all that shit fall. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm really curious.
Live watchers too, by the way. So thank you to all of you who are watching. Keep sharing this, and let's keep getting more and more people out. We want you to follow Charlotte, Sylvia, Kai Von Tiff, and please just keep engaging. Yeah, you want to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm curious what our DMV folks thought of Jones pulling it off. I have to say, of all the races, didn't know that he would do so, but then also it was like a little bit icky, of course. And I'm kind of wondering if you all think that we're just past like the personal piece of politics in that sense, especially in the Trump moment, especially when Republicans never play by those rules.
I think voters are tired of being treated like they were born yesterday. It's bullshit. It's complete fucking bullshit. The fact that, I mean, look, Jay Jones, he screwed up. He did some things that I'm sure he wishes he could take back with these texts that he sent. But you cannot look at his record and his experience and say that this is a bad man. This is a good man. He's a good politician. He's a good Democrat. But most importantly, he is a good public servant who is trying to improve the lives of working class Americans.
He sent text pictures of his wing. What the hell? I didn't see that. What did he do?
No, it was way stupider than that. He's a dumbass with what he said and what he did. He sent a text, and he basically said that he was talking to like another person who he was in the assembly. I don't know what they call it in Virginia, and basically said that he wanted to kill that person. And so it turned into like a whole thing. And it was years ago. It wasn't like recent. It was like a couple years, like 10 years ago or something. And I agree, Charlotte. The whole thing got spinned out of control. And I just keep hearing, and it doesn't, no matter what I do, I keep hearing Winsome Earl Sears in my ears saying, Abigail. Like, I just keep hearing her say this from the debate, and it's Abigail. She kept hammering this home at the debate, and it was so annoying. And every time I see her, I just keep thinking about that, because she was running. She was running not against Abigail. She was running against Jay Jones.
That's right.
It was weird.
So wait. Jay Jones, who they made it so this man didn't have a chance. Everyone said he was going to lose, that he was going to win Attorney General. It was predicted that it was going to be a close Virginia race for everything except that would go blue, but then this one would go red. And he basically just told a person in like their state house, "I'm going to kill you." But it was like a text to the person he was going to kill.
No, he was texting someone else, like somebody who they were in the assembly together, and I guess they were pissed about something that the person did.
Okay, I will say the text. Here's what it was, which I do think it was bad. Like while he was
Yeah, it wasn't good.
While he was in office in the last 5 years, he did text saying that like if these other lawmakers' children were killed, they would change their position on gun violence. And the other person he's texting with is like, please stop texting me these things. And it's a wacko thing to do, even just from a judgment perspective. But I agree with Charlotte that, you know, people make mistakes in life. And of course, like, I think Democrats are trying to figure out where the line is on some of that stuff. Obviously, certain things are much more egregious and disqualifying, but I do think that we've sort of fought with one hand tied behind our back by expecting candidates to have zero in their background, especially in a digital moment or not a moment, reality forever now, where everyone's going to have something. I mean, unless you were the most boring person ever, which by the way, then I'm a big believer, those people can't win in this moment. You know, all those people that like don't have social media and won't put out one statement about anything is like, that's totally missing the moment we're in.
We fall into this goddamn trap over and over again. And it's ridiculous. I mean, Vice President Harris was held to these ridiculously high standards in the 2024 campaign, which was just insane. And meanwhile, Trump is going around saying the most ridiculous shit, and legacy media isn't holding him accountable for the things he's saying. And we know why that is. We know it's because she's a Black woman running for office, and he is a rich white man, Nepo baby, running for office, right? I mean, this is what happens with the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And I am tired of us acceding to this framework that holds Democrats to this sky-high standard, but then lets Republicans get away with murder in the things they say. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. If you ask me if I want Mr. Jones or Mr. Miyares, is that his last name? Mr. Miyares or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. I'm going to choose Mr. Jones. He is the person fighting for working class families. He is the person who is working to hold a legal framework in Virginia to make sure that everyone has equal access to the legal rights that we should expect from our public servants. It is ridiculous to me that you can take two texts that this man sent and overrule him. Meanwhile, you have this coward who is basically endorsing the most draconian public policies that remove the reproductive rights of women, that engage in these quasi-racist policies, that engage in these ridiculous anti-LGBTQ policies. Democrats, we have got to stop buying into this binary that lets Republicans get away with anything and then forces us to crawl on our knees, begging for forgiveness for making a mistake in a private conversation. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
And hello, the Politico article that exposed what the Republicans have been recently talking about. It wasn't years ago. And it was about, Nazi jokes with people that are in office as Republicans right now. Like that double standard, Charlotte. Ooh.
Pisses me off. Pisses me right off. It's ridiculous. And that's why Vice President Harris lost. It was not because she was not a great campaigner. She was an exceptional campaigner. It's not because she was not the best person for the job. She was clearly the best person for the job. It was because of the bullshit double standard that we place on Democrats versus Republicans. And I am glad the Democrats did not abandon Jay Jones. I'm glad they did not back down. I'm glad they did not reject this ridiculous framework that legacy media puts on Democrats. I'm just really glad that we followed through, that we got in the fight, and that we did not stop.
And the media. Hello. Hello, double standard with the media. Why are we not talking about the mental lack of state of Pinochet right now?
And what we're getting ready to talk about, if you guys just give us a few more minutes, the way the media covered this and what they're now saying and where they're probably going to go next, because that's an important part of our strategy. And it's exactly why we have this every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock and bring people together so we can kind of talk about what's happening and give our ideas on it and kind of get ahead of some things before it makes it out to the national news. Kavon, the birthday boy, is getting ready to exit stage left and hop off. Kavon, last question for you before you go. We're going to maximize your.
Let's do it.
Alvin Bragg has retained his seat as Manhattan District Attorney. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that was kind of inevitable. It wasn't particularly competitive for him. And I will say, I think, he's probably going to be much more of an aligned partner for Mamdani than obviously he was with Adams. But I think the real relevant factor here on safety and security in New York City will be what Jessica Tisch decides to do, the New York Police Commissioner, who has been widely supported, very popular, although admittedly, a lot of folks on the further left of the spectrum have issues with some of her policies. And Mamdani made a big decision when he asked to keep her on. I will say, I think it might have been a little bit of a shrewd political move in that in asking her, he puts the ball in her court. And of course, that's fair to do. It's not, certainly anything underhanded, but I will be curious if she accepts that position. And I think, either way, what I'd end on is to say for moderates, for people that weren't behind Mamdani, the worst possible thing you could do is try to sabotage him in this moment. And that's including Eric Adams trying to stack the rent board, which is obviously one of the main things he campaigned on Mamdani, because you will fail at your argument then. If you really don't believe he can get what he's promised done, if you really don't believe those are the right policies for the city, let him try. He's won by a huge margin here, frankly. And this is what people voted for. And this is the type of politics people hate, when you try to screw over the guy who's coming in on your way out. And frankly, you'd have a much better case, frankly, to say, well, he tried all these things. We didn't stand his way. We tried to support him. The governor of the state got behind him and he still didn't deliver it. That's a different message. And that makes your argument stronger if it's the case. And of course, we should all hope it's not the case and that he's successful. So that's what I'd leave us with.
Kavon, thank you for taking some time.
My pleasure. Great to see you all.
Everybody, drop in.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Drop
you.
right there in the chat. It is his birthday. And
We
he
have
took
1 hour left. Happy birthday.
1 hour.
So enjoy the rest of the day and hop off as you have to hop off. But this is, Sylvia, I think you really hit like an important point when you talked about like that, the media and how the media is describing it. Like already, thank you guys to everyone who's engaging in the chat. We have some other big races that have been called in local areas. Like, again, we have the first Black female mayor of Detroit. Huge news, breaking news in Detroit. Please keep that breaking news coming in the chat, because now, I'm not able to like look and engage as much on social media. But people were saying how MSNBC is already saying negative things or twisting up and trying to take away from the strength of the Mamdani win. What can we do as voices out here with platforms on social media to combat the negativity that the media is going to push around Mamdani? I really don't have any doubt they're going to do all they can to portray him as the future of the Democratic Party, as a radical socialist communist, and as someone who is going to bankrupt the city and the state of New York. How do we combat that?
Oh, well, I will tell you the thing that I think we need to just combat is just call out the bullshit, because you know what? There are people that have a lot of fears. They fear, oh my God. People in my comments are ridiculous. They're like, they're going to use this against, they're going to say everything is so, like, they've already been doing that. They call Kamala Harris a socialist. They call Joe Biden a socialist. Okay. So let's be real about this. They're going to do this. Like, Joe Biden really is a socialist? Like, he's a whole communist. Like, this shit doesn't even make sense. But this is what they've been doing for years. So yeah, guess what? Mamdani is a socialist, but he's a democratic socialist. So let's label him correctly. And if they call him a communist, he's not fucking communist. Like, we need to call a thing, and just listen. He embraces it being a socialist. Okay, cool. But I'm just
they call Joe Biden a socialist.
I'm so tired. No, seriously, like I'm tired of people like worrying about what Republicans are going to do. Republicans aren't worrying about what Democrats do. Why do
Amen.
we spend so much time worrying
Amen.
about what Republicans are going to do? Like the thing that I appreciate about Mamdani is that he stood on business. He said, this is who I am, and y'all can accept me the way I am. And I think that's how Democrats need to be. Abigail Spanberger, Mikey Sherrill. Mikey's like, listen, I was in the military and they try to come for her. They really did try to expose her. They did expose her, all her information. But guess what? Stand on business and don't let these people intimidate you. And I think we need to do the same thing, because people really do try to intimidate us and try to make us try to stay. Like you said, Charlotte, they want us to like be a certain kind of way. Democrats are supposed to be a certain kind of way. Those will be demure and professional. No, just be yourself. And that actually helps people to win and makes people respect you. Stop worrying about everybody. Worry about your goddamn self and the people. The people should be the focus, not what Republicans are going to think. It's stupid.
Right. Amen.
There's a pattern with what we were calling Jack Ciattarelli. I like the other name.
Ciattarelli.
I feel like my accent is gonna make it sound bad. So he was backed by billionaires.
Yeah, we wanted to say it's Cucciarelli. Like Cucciarelli. That's what we call it.
Cucciarelli. Okay. So he backed by billionaires. The Pennsylvania race that we haven't talked a lot about was to retain 3 judges so that there could be a Democratic majority, would stay 5-2. Guess who was financing that? A billionaire was financing the opposition to that. Pattern of same thing as like Elon Musk earlier this year financing the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Like it's just billionaire after billionaire after billionaire. And there's this person I love following on Instagram called the Dad Briefs. He's a guy out of Florida. And he said, just vote for the people that scare the billionaires. And I loved that, like that phrase. Just like Mamdani terrifies the billionaires. I mean, wasn't Bloomberg giving him like money and backing him up? And
Bloomberg was backing. I thought Bloomberg was backing Andrew Cuomo.
He
was backing Cuomo
in the primary. In the primary, he backed him, and then he actually the thing that I appreciate, not to control Sylvie, but what I appreciate about Mamdani is that even after he lost, like Cuomo lost, and obviously he won, even though Michael Bloomberg gave him like $10 million. He sat down with Michael Bloomberg and they had a conversation. And you know what Michael Bloomberg did? He didn't give no money in the general election because he had the conversation. So Michael Bloomberg is not scared of Mamdani. The people didn't know him. And I think that was half the battle. Like once business people and other people got to know who Mamdani was, they were like, oh, this guy is not like a terrorist like these people were trying to make him out to be. Just like crazy.
So great comment here from Citizen Morgan. We're going to address this with next because we're, in the whole New York Mamdani race before we then go Green Yard into Georgia, which has huge implications. I might make the argument that the Georgia race is the biggest race for the night in regards to what it portends for 2028. And I actually have my data and my information together. So Tiff, when I was 15 minutes late, I was putting this PowerPoint together so I could have all my ducks in a row to really validate, what I saw tonight in Georgia was shocking, was very shocking. And I want to share it. But so Citizen Morgan said, how can other cities and the citizens help make Mamdani and New York a success? I think, I think it's going to come down to a lot of people really giving this a chance to work. I don't know if they necessarily need other blue cities and other blue mayors to make his policy success, but I definitely think that he can benefit from the guidance and leadership of blue leaders across this country. This is still a very young leader. He's a young Democrat. This man isn't even 35, right, Tiff?
34.
Yeah, right, Charlie. This man is 34 years old. So, all of us benefit from mentors and the knowledge and wisdom of those who have lived years more than us and have worked more in the fields in our fields of study or career fields than what we have. And I think that it's time for the Democratic Party to fully embrace him.
Zach, look at the chat.
Oh yeah, we got.
Look at the chat.
Oh, I have to go down and look.
What is the chat?
The chat says that Prop 50 passed.
Oh, woo! It's great.
Oh my God. We boom. See, look at this. Breaking. Democrats secure another expected win in California. Prop 50 is passed. We are going to be able to hold, and we're at 621 live viewers. Thank you so much, 621. Just keep it going up on election night. Huge. Tiff, Charlotte, Sylvia, before we'll go into Prop 50, then come back to Georgia. What can we say about Mamdani? Like, what does the city of New York have to do for Mamdani to be successful?
Well, okay. I want to go back to what was said before, because I think we get stuck into this framework that legacy media forces on us, saying the Democrats have to have a unified, simple message that everybody abides by. Republicans are not held to that standard. You have Republicans saying all sorts of shit in all sorts of parts of the country all the time. And it bothers me. Mr. Mamdani would probably not be successful running for governor of Virginia. And Ms. Spanberger would probably not be successful running for governor of New York City, right? These are two different politicians who are both extremely capable, extremely talented, and they're running to represent different constituencies. And it bothers me that we don't recognize that Democrats are going to speak to different constituencies with different backgrounds, different experiences, and we can't honor both of them. It annoys the hell out of me, because tomorrow, what's going to happen, I guarantee you, is that the New York Times and the Washington Post and Politico and Axios and all of these political newsletters are going to come out and they're going to say, well, is the Democratic Party the future of Abigail Spanberger, or is it the future of Zohran Mamdani? And I think that's the wrong framework. It is completely ridiculous. We need to focus on winning. You need to do what it takes to win in New York. You need to do what it takes to win in Virginia and Texas and California and Missouri and Florida. That's what you got to do. Because I tell you what, one of the smartest people in Democratic politics is Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. She's doing what needs to be done in Texas. But that's not what it takes to be done in Virginia. It's not what it takes to be done in New York. We need to give Democrats a space to tailor their messaging to their constituents. You can't take Zohran Mamdani and replicate him across the country. You can't take Abigail Spanberger and replicate her across the country. You can't take Jasmine Crockett and replicate her across the country. Republicans don't worry about that. They never worry about that. They're just like, we're going to talk to the people in our district or our state and pander to them constantly. We need to be true to ourselves. We need to embrace authenticity. We need to remember that all of us, regardless if we are centrist or leftist or center left or whatever the hell we are, we're all focused on working class families. That is the key. Authenticity and working class families, and making sure people have jobs that pay well and they can have enough money to feed their families, send their kids to college. That is our goal. And also that we're not throwing marginalized people under the bus in order to pander in the way that Trump does. That is how we defeat these people.
I think people love it. Many people are like, oh my God, can we get Charlotte to consult on Democratic messaging? She should be paid for that. We all should be. But you can definitely see her do that level of consulting on her Substack and on her social media. That's the point of it. That is what content creators are doing, like Charlotte. Follow her, subscribe to that Substack.
That Substack, Zach, I'm surprised you said you miss it, because the subject lines, I'm telling you, I have texted Charlotte. I'm like, you get me to immediately I want to open that email.
I'm going to go to
teaching a masterclass on writing.
You're too kind.
No, I'm not.
So much money. No. I said, because I pay. If I see my friends, I drop the money, pay the subscription. I want to support everyone I love when I can. So I'm just going to have to go through and unfollow to make sure I'm getting the good material and the good content.
Can we recognize, though, and Zach, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can we recognize, though, that this is a panel of exceptional communicators? I see Tiff's tweets. I see your commentary, Zach. I see Sylvia's commentary. Like, we are tackling these problems from every angle and getting people out to vote and giving them the knowledge that they need to talk to their neighbors and their colleagues and their family about how to get Democrats in the fold. And so I just think that's important to acknowledge. The Republicans have their alternative media infrastructure. They do. We don't. We've been trying to build it up over the past few years. We are at ground zero, and we need people like Tiff, and we need people like Zach, and we need people like Sylvia to reach out to people and get them involved in this fight. Because we're not going to win this fight unless we're saying things that legacy media are not saying.
And I think it's working, guys. Like, well, it's working. It's working. Like, it's making a difference. People are not giving in and believing the bullshit. Twitter this past 3 weeks has been a shitstorm of bullshit, of bots, of like bot. They have fixed the bots, people. They now have bots that have like real followers, like huge numbers that look authentic. It's so well crafted, but these people are not real. These people, that bitch is not real. Like the lady said on the plane. And it didn't work. We are seeing it tonight in the election results. And one huge one to look at is like Georgia. Let me pull up Georgia. And we're going to end with the brother of J.D. Vance. Do you people know that J.D. Vance's brother?
Yeah.
He lost the primary, and then I don't even know how he got back in this race.
Yeah, I thought it was over.
He lost by 60 points, 60%. My God. What a dipshit.
Hilarious, people. So in the state of Georgia, we had what was really, I'm thinking a very small, little bitty race for what was called Public Service Commissioner. Mm-hmm. And we had two Democrats running to unseat like two Republicans. The Republicans were the incumbents. No Democrat in the state of Georgia has won statewide, local statewide office in 25 years. John Ossoff and Senator Raphael Warnock won statewide for a national race. But we have not had anyone in a state seat in this state in 25 years. Well, that ended tonight and I thought that I had made but I was rushed to that PowerPoint. This slide must have gotten deleted in the process, where we had the first person to win that seat being Alicia Johnson. She represents District 2, Public Service Commissioner for District 2. She has flipped her seat and she has won that. And then we had shortly thereafter Peter Hubbard, Public Service Commissioner for District 3. The Public Service Commissioner in the state of Georgia deals with public goods and things and rates like your energy prices and those things. And Georgia Power, our electric company, put out a lot of money behind the Republicans because they have been raising the rates of electricity like crazy over the past 10 years. And they wanted to continue this whole process. They even released an announcement back in the summer where they were going to freeze prices for 3 years. Hey, we'll give you 3 years of a break at where you currently are. It still didn't work. These two people won by landslide margins, but they didn't just win by landslide margins. I want you to look at this map. The results are not even in for DeKalb County, Georgia. DeKalb County, Georgia is 70% Democratic, 70% Black, a very mixed county. I live in DeKalb County, and they don't even have those results, and we're already seeing these huge margins. Never have I seen a Georgia map, even when when Democrats had statewide office with our last Democratic governor, Roy Barnes, we did not have this many blue counties. This is extremely abnormal. Counties that have never in their lives went blue in this election. And it matters because the people came out to vote and the Democratic voters were mobilized for change.
Mm-hmm. Can we just point out that Georgia does not fuck around? I mean,
it really does prove this is a purple state. That this state is in play, and it's going to be in play in 2028 if we can continue this level of momentum. The question is, are we going to be able to do it? We're at 709 live followers. Thank you, viewers. Thank you guys so much. Georgia is I was shocked. I mean, literally. I travel. I'm in a job that requires me to travel around the entire state. I know the entire state of Georgia. So when I see counties like Scriven County, Georgia, be blue. It's kind of like a miracle. Like like this is unbelievable. This little look at this little corridor right here. No, this isn't. This is not because of black voter turnout. This is not. This is 100% white voters in Georgia who are saying, I am not going to vote Republican straight down the ballot. I'm not going to vote Republican at all. In a lot of places, this was the only thing. Like when I went to vote, this was the only thing on the ballot. There was only one thing on the ballot, Public Service Commissioner, and that's it. So people got out of their houses and went to vote in these huge margins for something for this. And it's because they're over the prices, they're over the rates. They want lower prices. This is amazing.
Against the incumbent, from what I see, because I know nothing about these races specifically, but it was
they beat incumbents. And so you know how it works, guys. Many times people go and vote straight down. Like if I'm a Republican, I'm going to walk in that box and I'm voting for a Republican candidate, or I'm going to vote for the incumbent. Not only did these people not vote for the Republican, they also didn't vote for the incumbent. Like they knew clearly what was at stake, and having lower prices for their light bill meant more than their party affiliation, meant more than sticking with the MAGA cult. And in a state like Georgia, I think that's a pretty big deal.
Amen. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Zach. I wasn't paying attention to y'all's races, so I'm glad. I know one of my friends was kept sending me stuff, so I just kept retweeting it. But no, that's awesome that people got out and voted. Like it's hard when there's nothing else on the ballot to vote for, and like not like a big name person on the ballot, so people are interested. I mean, look at California. That was the only thing on the ballot, and when they showed it on MSNBC, there was a line like around the building. Jacob Soboroff was talking to people, and they're like, this is my right, this is my duty, I need to be here. So maybe the one thing that will come out of 2024 is that people, it's always after the fact, they never realize it at the time, but you have to go through hell to kind of see sunshine again, I guess. You got to kind of like go this whole motion. We went through this in 2016, and then 2020. Like everything has to turn bad for people to recognize that they need to get out and vote. So I'm hoping this is kind of the way that we need to encourage people, and winning just makes people more motivated. It just does. And the fact that we won now, it should motivate people in 2026 to get off their ass and go vote. I hope this is the start of something good.
And if you're being so nice, I mean, you are being so nice right now. Because I got to tell you, we would not be in the situation were it not for the folks who did not vote last year, who did a protest vote, who stepped outside. You're being diplomat. You're being how you should be, by the way, and I appreciate that. But you know, y'all, we can't step on that. We can't stay on the sidelines. We can't do that. I don't vote for candidates because I love them. I vote for candidates for survival. And I would assume everyone on this panel and many of the people watching vote for survival, you know, so that our communities are not attacked by these draconian assholes who don't give a shit about any Americans, but especially don't give a shit about us. And, you know, we can't keep being complacent in the face of fascism. And it bothers me. And, you know, if we want to overcome Trump next year, we have got to get off the sidelines. Don't worry about whether or not you love a candidate. It doesn't matter whether you love them. Get out and vote for them to stop Trump. That's all that matters. That is all that's ever mattered.
My favorite line on that one is, voting is not marriage. You can get rid of them after 4 years, 2 years, 6 years, whatever it may be. So you're not, like I said, you're not voting for love. You're not voting for marriage. You're voting for someone to do a job. And if they don't do their job, kick their ass to the curb. Like that's the part that people have decided they want to fall in love. I don't fall in love with candidates, because even the ones that I do love sometimes disappoint me, and that's life. That's how it is. But people have taken this whole like idea of democracy and turned it into like a love fest. And I get it. A lot of people are in love Mamdani, like they love him, and I just hope that they give him the grace to be able to do the job that he's supposed to do as mayor. And the first sign that he doesn't do something you want, that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this, and kick him to the curb. Like, that is a horrible way of looking at politics. You got to give him the ability to govern, and he's going to have checks and balances. There's going to be a lot of things. He has to deal with, the assembly, which he works in. He also has to deal with the local, like, city council. He is going to have to govern for everyone. It can't be just for a subset of leftists that think that he is there for them. So there's going to be some lessons that are going to be learned from that race. And I hope that people go into it with an open mind. And I think a lot of people do. I think the majority of people that voted for him are liberals and moderates who understand pragmatism in politics. The leftists, may have a little bit of a hard time with it.
What help me understand? Like, okay, so New York has an assembly and a city council.
So yeah, they have the state assembly, and but the city is insular. So you have
Donnie was a city council.
No, he was a state
assembly
person.
So he was part of the state legislature.
Yeah.
So that's like in Georgia, we have state representatives, state senators, state assembly.
Yes.
Got it. Now I understand. Got it. He was not on the city council.
Yes, but the city council is like what basically runs the city. Like, they're making all the rules. Honestly, mayor in New York City is really like, you're a figurehead, right? I mean, you really are more so a figurehead of people, like, and you get no respect, which is why no one wants to ever freaking do that damn job. Like, people just treat you like shit. And he understands that going into this, and he has to get the buy-in from the city council on everything that he wants to do. They hold the purse basically, and the state also holds the purse to give to the city. So and Kathy Hochul has decisions. He can't just make the buses free. He has to go to and be, like you said, diplomatic, compromise, be pragmatic. He may not get all the buses free, but maybe he can get 5. And you know what? People need to be like, okay, we'll get 5 in places that really need it, where there's low income folks who can't afford a fucking Metro card. Get those people to be able to go on the bus for free. But I need people to be pragmatic in that way, to be like, okay, maybe you didn't, and that's a problem. And that's a big problem that people have, because they want all. I want some, and if I can get more than just some, I'll be happy. But a lot of people there's like all or nothing, and they need to stop it. It's annoying.
All or nothing, and it has to be now.
Right, that too.
Purity politics has got to end. It's got to end right now. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, y'all. Purity politics does not work. It has never worked. It will never work. I am so sick and goddamn tired of some folks on the far left writing off candidates because they don't align with everything they say. It's just, we get into a situation where we accept moral victories, which do nothing. They don't feed kids. They don't send kids to college. They don't give people a living minimum wage. They don't make sure that there are workplace protections. Moral victories do nothing. And there are a lot of leftists, especially a lot of folks in the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, who insist on moral victories. And a lot of them are writing off Mamdani and AOC and Bernie. And it is insane to me. It is absolutely, this is the first Democratic Socialist who's been elected in 30 years, 35 years, or whatever the hell it is, since Mr. Dinkins. And they are saying that he's a sellout. Y'all, they have got to get their shit together.
You're talking about the left.
I wonder if they care more about policy or they care more about performativity. Anyway.
But no, Charlotte, you're talking about when you said they say he's a sellout. Because I want to reframe that. That's like a huge statement. You're saying that leftists are saying that Mamdani sold out. Now, this is, again, the first person that carries the mantle of DSA to be elected to an office of this caliber in 30 plus years. And they're saying he's a sellout. So even he isn't good left enough for the leftist.
No. And when AOC runs for Senate, which she will, against Mr. Schumer in a couple of years, they're going to say she's a sellout. These people are completely incompetent. They are fucking incompetent. They are not interested in working class families. They are not interested in helping people who are struggling. We should not listen to them. We should not worry about them. And those of you on the far left who do care about these issues, you should not listen to them. You should
I don't
focus.
anybody. I
on
don't think anybody viewers are on the far left.
Oh my God.
Zach is too centrist for them.
I am blue. I'm true blue. Blue.
I'm true blue too, with some progressive, with many progressive leanings. And I got to tell you, these people are insane. They have no idea what they're doing. They gotta get their shit together, because if they don't get their shit together, they're going to stay in this cycle of losing and pandering and being completely irrelevant. And it bothers me. I'm sorry. Rant is over.
No, I don't think it's I can't wait. Now I'm excited to see what you're going to produce. Like I wrote a Substack for tomorrow about Dick Cheney and the damage that he caused to America and why we are today where we are with Trump, because of Dick Cheney's push to extend executive power, starting with his work as chief of staff for Gerald Ford and carrying over to the work that we all know him for with the Bush administration. For those of us, was I alive doing Ford? If I was, y'all don't need to know that I was. But one thing I want to say, like, is this too premature to say that Zohran Mamdani has a bright future in American politics? Can we say that yet?
No, I think he has a bright future in New York City. I responded to someone yesterday and said he has a bright future in New York City. The goal for the New York City mayor is not to be a national figure. The goal is to get reelected in 4 years. Okay, that is the goal of don't be an Eric Adams, for fuck's sake. Like, don't do that, because Eric Adams was a one-term freaking corrupt mayor, and I hated him. I hated him from the beginning.
You hated him from the start.
From the start, I couldn't stand him. I knew he was.
He never won you for a moment. Like John Fetterman, you hated John Fetterman too, but John kind of won you a little bit before he proved how right the fuck you were.
No, I never liked Eric Adams. I always thought he was an asshole. I know his type. I'm from Brooklyn. I know him very well, and I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. So I listen, I respected the fact that he won. The same way I feel about Mamdani, I feel the same way about Eric Adams. The voters chose him in the primary and they voted him in to be the mayor. So I put all of that aside as a good Democrat and said, you know what? I will see this through, and I hope that he has success. And that's what every Democrat should want, is for Mamdani to be successful. As far as the future of the party or what he comes about, I don't think that's even relevant to right now. He hasn't even governed one day, and we need to let him do his job of governing. And listen, he will probably be on the stage in 2028 when we have a whole DNC and everybody's going to be a big show. Yeah, he's probably going to be someone who is just like AOC, who's a part of the Democratic Party apparatus, who is able to, speak to people. But he has to do his job. And I think that is what people are missing. Abigail Spanberger has to do her job. There's a lot of things that need to happen in Virginia. They now, they will now have a majority in Virginia to be able to do the things that they want to do. She hopefully, I don't know the numbers.
They flip a lot of seats, right? They flip some seats. And
they will flip in tons of seats. I mean, they have an AG now who will actually help them out to be able to sue this, the Trump administration. Like, these things actually matter. Yeah, and New Jersey is going to stay blue, which is really important. And we have to let's watch them govern. I want to see how these women govern. It is really hard to be a woman politician, and you get a lot of shit from a lot of people. And I want to see them just govern and be successful in the jobs that they're doing, so we can get more women in these roles. Because I feel like if one is successful, then other people can start to see that they can do these jobs. And that's what I want. This is the same way we have one black governor, and he's mine. Okay.
We need fire today. All over the media today, doing a phenomenal job. Governor Moore has been amazing.
He's been amazing.
I have slowly come. I mean, again, Tiff, I had to give Tiff credit again because, people have talking about how handsome he was. I never gave him that credit, but my vision is changing.
You didn't think it was handsome? Oh my God, you are so.
At first, it was a little alien-esque, but
okay. Listen, I could go with that, but he's handsome in person, beautiful skin, beautiful wife, beautiful family.
His smile.
beautiful wife.
Smile. He's nice body. I mean, he's very handsome, but that's not the point. But I do think that what we're seeing and what we should embrace and be happy about is the camaraderie that we see amongst Democrats. Don't you guys agree? Like we have Wes Moore going all over to help these candidates. He went to New Jersey. He went to Gretchen Whitmer was in New Jersey. Like all these governors were helping each other out. We had all over the place.
On Prop 50 on this, in
yeah, and then even in New York, you saw like Tish James helping Mamdani, like these, and he stood up for her. Like when she got indicted, he like went to bat for her. And those are the things that I want to see Democrats do. I want to see them fighting for each other, not this infighting bullshit that we constantly do. Fight for one another so that we can be successful. That's what I want. That's all I want.
We're at 823 live viewers. Thank you guys so much. Listen, follow tonight's guest. Kyle Vaughn, of course, just popped off. He was with us earlier tonight. He's celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday again to Kyle Vaughn. Charlotte Clymer is here with us. Amazing Substack, amazing content creator on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And the same thing goes to my very, very dear friend, Sylvia Salazar, Tono Latino. And you can follow her also on TikTok and Instagram and, of course, the YouTube. We all do exactly what we're doing and talk about these issues, and we fight for democracy. We push the issues forward. The work that we are creating with a progressive ecosphere of media has never been more important in our lifetimes, as we're unable to count on mainstream media the way that we always have. You can see that tonight. You see it tonight in the way that MSNBC and CNN refuse to call these races because they want to squeeze every bit of viewership out of the audience that they have. This is their big night. Also, we see it in the fact that as soon as the results are coming in and how they're trying to portray the wins and how they're trying to portray Mamdani win tonight really should be a huge night of just Democratic victory success, because we really saw three prominent Democrats from three different parts of the Big Tent win. I argue that Spanberger tends to be a little bit more centrist, moderate.
Yep.
That Cheryl tends to be more of your mainstream, true blue liberal, and Mamdani being your leftist candidate. And again, it shows exactly going back to what Charlotte says. And sometimes I kind of question often that Charlotte would probably, we can be a Big Tent party, that if you come in as who you are with your authentic beliefs, your authentic self, you be that and you win. Whereas I argue, like, is it time to cut the leftists off? Cut my left arm off.
If they don't get in line, fucking cut them off. Yes. If they're not willing to be part of a winning coalition, they should be cut off. Yes, I do believe that.
So that's just the question. But I think tonight makes me say maybe, Charlotte, I'm wrong in the fact that, I am very happy for Zoran. I know that a lot of Tiff and our friends who are probably watching us right now on Twitter are probably like not happy with that, because a lot of people really do care. A lot of people I do care about. I do care about them a lot. I love you. We're not happy about Mamdani's win. They were very anti-Mamdani, people that we love and follow. And I understand it, but at the same time, I'm happy because I feel like this is a big win for democracy, and it's a complete defeat of all the efforts of MAGA to interfere in this race. The fucking president literally came out and said he was going to withhold funding from the whole damn state if this man won. And New Yorker said, fuck you, Donald Trump.
Zach, can I say something to that real quick? Just real quick, and I'll be fast about it, I promise.
Give the rest.
I supported Hillary in 2016. Secretary Clinton in 2016. I supported President Biden in 2020. And a lot of the folks on the Bernie left annoy the fuck out of me because they're not willing to build a coalition. All they care about is shaming others and pushing people out of their tent and making people feel small for not agreeing with them. What I loved about Mr. Mamdani throughout his whole campaign is he didn't do any of that. He brought people into the tent. He brought people into the fold. He said, you know what? We may disagree. You may be a centrist. You may be center left. You may be even conservative, but we all care about these central issues that affect working class families. Let's come in and help each other. That's what he did differently than Bernie. That's what he did differently from the DSA. That's what he did differently from a lot of these folks on the far left who care more about shaming others than they do about helping others.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is the future of democratic politics, just to be clear.
I totally agree with that. I wrote a Substack about that. I called him the positive leftist. Like he's Zoran
Ooh, that's
positive
good.
leftist. And I just kind of thought about all the things, like all the things that I think that he did, and everything you said is exactly what I think. That he was not a negative person. The negativity of the leftists has driven a lot of people to not listen to what they're saying. If you want people to listen to you, you're going to have to come have a different approach. And he did that. He was not, while he may in his mind believe he's anti-establishment, he was not screaming about the anti-establishment. He wasn't, or the establishment. He wasn't saying, well, I hate the establishment. He was like, I'm trying to bring these people into the fold. And maybe if I can convince them I'm a good guy, maybe they'll actually vote for me. So there was a different tone to this election that he won. And I do think that should be like, people, if you want to win, you have to bring people. Addition versus subtraction. Bring the people in. Hello.
And listen,
Amen,
guys,
Tiff. Amen.
people are now in the tent that weren't in the tent. That's a very true and profound statement, Charlotte, and they're gonna stay. Mamdani has brought people in that are now going to stay. And when he gets out there on the campaign trail in 2026, when he gets our House of Representative candidates or our Senate candidates, it's going to matter. If he gets out there and he's fighting, and he has a good first year, a good second year, and he's out there fighting with AOC, it's going to only add to her strength and credibility as she takes on Schumer, which I think many of us hope that she will. And it's also going to make a big difference in 2028 when this man is going around the country with our Democratic nominee and fighting for that nominee and getting the people on the left to come over and stop their nonsense, support our candidate. And I hadn't thought about that.
Young people.
Statement. And young people. We cannot deny the fact, no matter how you slice and dice it, that Zohran Mamdani did something that Democrats and a lot of other places have been unable to do, and that's get voters off their ass and vote. And the fact that this election had record-breaking turnout for a off year, for it to be a New York mayoral race, like this far eclipsed the number of people that voted for Eric Adams. And I think that this is a huge, huge testament to this man's ability to mobilize voters. And if he just does well, I think that he will be a major factor in the future.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, look at this one. The hour message between 26, 1 year out. The committee outlined plans to Democratic candidates nationwide. Mamdani ahead of the midterms. We knew they were going to do that, but we have to get ahead of. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here, Kathy. We exist to get ahead of that and to stop that. That is why we exist. That's why we do what we do, and we need your help in doing it. So we need you. Let me go back to the banner as you get ready to wrap it up. We need you to follow tonight's guests, Kai Von, Charlotte, and Sylvia Salazar. Follow us. Follow us. Listen, we are facing extreme suppression on all platforms. The bots are being shown by design, by Elon Musk, Starlink, and all the evil fucks that exist on that platform. But also, TikTok is on the verge of being sold to the Ellison family, who just bought CBS Paramount and all the bullshit they did with Donald Trump's fuck up, play game, shit, sit in diaper interview on 60 Minutes. That is what TikTok is going towards. Our content being suppressed. When you follow us and when you see us, comment, like, engage, share, continue to help us build a platform so that you continue to see it and we can continue to gain new followers today and bring them into the tent. But also watch us on YouTube. Tiffany and I will be back tomorrow night with Kenny. Tiffany, it looks like Kenny missed all the text messages. We did not plan to go live.
But Kenny was in the chat. I don't understand.
He
popped into the chat.
No, he was in this chat. He's also on our chat. But I guess sometimes
Kenny's everywhere.
Yeah, Kenny be missing chats. But he's going to be here tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow. And with the regular Wednesday night episode of The Big Three, watch us on the YouTube, engage. Follow Tiffany. Tiffany has an amazing Substack, Candidly Tiff, where she goes live every other Friday. Right? It's every other Friday, Tiff, right?
Yes.
But you can also go back to watch the old episodes. It's all there on Substack. It's all there in the app. So, I am, thanking you guys so much for coming on tonight, being with us. I'm about to just sit down and rewatch, because it's just ending, Zohran Mamdani's acceptance speech, and really just kind of put all my thoughts together for videos around everything that happened tonight.
Amen.
Is there anything that you guys are like really ready to like either write about for your Substack or videos that you know you're itching to make?
The smaller wins that a lot of people don't know about. Like, for example, Kentucky Republicans won't be able to redraw the congressional districts in their
What?
states.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Oh
I
yes,
have it. Hold on. Let
yes.
me
Give us
read
all of
so
those.
that I.
Yeah, give us those.
Sorry, not Kentucky. Don't shoot me.
Oh, yeah.
Kansas. Sorry. Started with
No,
a K.
that's
I'm
still
hungry.
huge.
Kansas Republicans. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Kansas will not be able to redistrict and fuck up their maps and gerrymander. So that's huge.
Yes. The only Republican on Orlando City Council lost his reelection bid.
Good job.
Maine voters rejected a Republican-backed ballot initiative that would have imposed new photo ID rules and severely limited mail-in voting. So there's like smaller wins that a lot of us are obviously not going to like see, especially not on social media because they're like smaller wins. But that's really what I want to talk about this week.
Again, we have the first Black female governor in Detroit. I think
Detroit.
that's a big deal. We didn't do well in California. I mean, Texas, but fuck, it's Texas, Charlotte. You got to get off your ass and do something.
I know.
And somebody in the chat, I forgot, I did not catch who they were, but we are eternally grateful. They said Colorado voters approve income tax increase on high-earning households to fund meals for all public school students.
Oh,
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
huge.
And I love when they do these things because then the Republicans go crazy and like all their media says like, oh, people are going to leave Colorado because of the high taxes. And then I don't know if you all know that Zach and I do a good news roundup on Instagram every Monday. And a few weeks back, we talked about Massachusetts, that they increased their tax on billionaires and like ultra millionaires. And not only did they got a ton of money to be able to do a lot of things in the state, more people moved into the state of Massachusetts. So the whole rhetoric of like, oh, you increase the taxes, people are going to leave. No, not only are they staying, they're paying and they're bringing their friends. And that extra money is allowing for people to do investment in infrastructure, in education, and like all sorts of things that are benefiting the state of Massachusetts.
That is going to be huge. Civic, like, I'm glad you're on the East Coast, the West Coast, so you can.
I know, this is why I'm fresh. It's 8:42 p.m.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be working. I'm a night owl. I'll be working tonight.
Me too.
I'm gonna keep pressing on. I'm gonna I think tomorrow I'm up at 8:30. It's my first meetings at 9, but absolutely gonna keep cranking. Charlotte, anything that you are itching to get out tonight?
I'll be quick.
Yeah,
You know what? We have spent the past several months being told by legacy media and certain pundits that Mickey Sherrill was going to have a tough race, that Abigail Spanberger was going to have a tough race, that the folks running for the Pennsylvania Supreme Court were going to have tough races. We were told that by legacy media. And tonight, they were entirely wrong. They could not have been more wrong. Just like they were wrong in 2022 and 2020 and 2018 and 2016. So I want y'all to think about a year from now when we're in the 2026 midterms and these same goddamn pundits who are overpaid and don't know what the hell they're talking about claim that Democrats can't win back the Senate and that we can't get a big majority in the House. And I want you to remember tonight, I want you to remember how wrong they were tonight when they made those claims. We can do this. We can do this. Don't listen to legacy media. They are incentivized financially and professionally to get you hyped up, stressed out, anxiety riddled, to believe that Democrats can't get the job done. Don't listen to them. Invest in an alternative media. Listen to Zach, listen to Sylvia, listen to Tiff, listen to all our friends who look at this data, who know these lawmakers, who understand things on the ground that legacy media are not willing to express. That's what we got to do. We have to believe in ourselves because legacy media is going to do everything they can to take the confidence in the wind out of our sails and make us believe that we have to watch them in order to, get a morsel of confidence. That's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. We will win next year if we have confidence in each other. And we will have confidence in each other if we're willing to invest in each other's commentary, in each other's organizing, and each other's operations. That's how this works.
Every single time.
God, I love her.
Tiffany, what are you itching to create? I know. Oh my God, this has been great.
Okay, so I am itching to talk about these polls because I obviously were looking at the polls the past couple of days, and they were terrible for New Jersey, but in a good way, because Mikey Sherrill overperformed the polling by a large margin. They were pretty okay, and they were pretty close, I should say, in Virginia. Not great, but definitely did outperform those. In New York, the one that we thought was going to be more than what it was, maybe they had Mamdani like around like 11 or 12 points in some of those, but Atlas had him at 2, and so he's probably going to end up like maybe like 10, like 9 or 10 points from Cuomo. So that's that we got. Like, one of the things that I think from 2024 was polling that we don't know whether to believe or to ignore polls, right? So I think at this point we just gotta show up. Like, it doesn't matter what the polls are saying, but also polls actually make people turn out more. So like, people were saying Mikey Sherrill was going to lose, but guess what? Because they were so close, that forced people's hands to show the hell up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about that at some point once I get the final results.
And you're gonna, and I'm excited to see the demographic data that you're gonna pull to really know that. Like, that's what I'm most excited about. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let you do it. I know you're going to give us like the turnout. Like,
I have one for you. I have one for you before we go. So
good.
Okay, so according to New York Times, Mamdani won Black voters 61 to 35% in Black neighborhoods. So he flipped that number from the primary and got a majority of Black vote.
Wow.
He did not. This man did not have the majority of Black voters in the primary, and that was like a major talking point. People talked about it. It was debated all over Black media because that's what they run and do. But he flipped. This man got out. There's so many lessons that I'm going to look at from this man's campaign. That's what I'm going to actually look at, is how to create a campaign at the local level that resonates the way that his campaign did. Because he turned the corner on things that really were meant to, like, he was struggling and he fixed it. He brought the right people in to fix it. That's what I need to learn. That's what I want to know.
Tiff, do you have the Latino numbers again?
For which one?
For Mamdani.
Hold on, I just had it up. Okay, so there's two different polls. So the Latino neighborhoods, the ones that hold on, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up my phone. Okay, so Latino neighborhoods, or mostly Hispanic neighborhoods, he won plus 20, 57% to 37% for Cuomo. Makes sense.
Okay. Because there was a lot of disinformation attacking Mamdani, and they were obviously saying like, oh, he's going to turn New York into Venezuela and like all the things. And my concern, though, and Zach knows this, is that a lot of the campaigns, and I'm not saying Mamdani's campaign, because you saw how I blushed at his like Spanish content and like how good it was at connecting with the people. But in general, Democrats don't know how to like connect with Latinos. And to Charlotte's earlier point, they think that if they create one thing that they can replicate it across the country, that it's going to work with all the Latinos. And I'm like, that's not going to work. You need somebody that specializes in understanding the specific Latino population of that area and use the tools to connect with them, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to extend this, but that's why I was asking about Latinos specifically, because they were targets of disinformation around Mamdani and how he was going to be like Nicolás Maduro.
No, I think that was a perfect segue, because I think that, like, I am also Latina, but I am, obviously a Black Latina. So people don't never know. So it's kind of like a little secret.
The way you say Latina, I could tell.
But I do think that a lot of people, like in New York specifically, they can fall for this propaganda that is out there. And it's not anyone can fall for it, right? I mean, I've seen people on Twitter who are moderate people who are falling for the bullshit. But I think we need to start to, like you said, dissect what worked, because that, like you said, that ad from start to finish was so good. just seeing how hard he worked to be able to, to connect with people. And he did that throughout the campaign. And I think that's an important way to connect to people. Even the Caribbean community, New York has a huge Caribbean community.
Yeah.
He's in the club. He's going doing all these different things that people that that are older Democrats wouldn't do. Like, I don't think older Democrat's gonna do a bar crawl, like, or go to a bashment in Brooklyn. Like, that's not gonna happen.
That was huge.
That's not gonna happen.
And they said that he was on the My Gaydar podcast. I didn't even know there was a Gaydar podcast. I didn't know it. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at the Gaydars. I want to see I don't know what that was, but I'm like, I'm gonna literally search next the Gaydar podcast.
And let me just say one thing I did notice, Zach, in the last week, I don't know what his campaign did, or if they must have contacted like every large like social media person in New York City, because
and the DMV people, because I saw some folks up from DC coming up there.
Yeah, there was like even the food people, like my favorite like food guy in New York, Nicholas, I think his name is. There was also like just random people that I don't even follow. I don't even know these people because I don't know all the influencers. But these people were just doing street interviews with him, asking him questions. I saw him talking to it was like a trans activist. Like, he was talking to everybody. So his campaign was like flood the zone with all the content creators we could find, and do 3-minute videos with them. And it probably didn't take them any effort, but it was the fact that they did that which matters to people, because these people have large followings. I don't even follow them, and I saw the goddamn videos, which means that they were also getting new audiences. And that's what we need. We need new audiences. So these people were connecting, because I was posting about Mamdani, they were posting about Mamdani, and it all came together. So I think that's an important point.
I know we got to go. Everybody got to go. We got to go. But that is it. Like, we need to. That is a capture. Like, put my finger on that. Like, bookmark it for the page. That made a huge difference. The Zora Mamdani campaign reached out to content creators and influencers in the entire area. Like, people from Philadelphia came up, people from DMV came up, people from all over New York came together, and he engaged those people and used their platforms to get voters out to the polls. Mm-hmm. That made a big difference. He did not count on legacy media to get his message out. He didn't depend on them to get his message out. Every single time I saw this man on a national news show or a major news network like CNN or MSNBC, but specifically on CNN, he was being shaded. He was being low-key attacked after the interview. They baited with questions that were highly inappropriate. He didn't count on these people to get his message across the way that many Democratic politicians are still doing. He is moving like the way we campaign, I believe, into the future. And that's just one of many lessons. Doing the bar crawls, showing that everyone belongs in the tent is ultimately what he did in his outreach, that every single possible and likely and even unlikely Democratic voter, even lean that way, has a place in his campaign and, of course, in his city. And it goes back to what Charlotte said in the very beginning of the night. That's how you win.
Yeah.
Amen.
Tiffany, give us the last word. We're at 888 live.
Every time you say that number, my heart just jumps out of my chest.
It'd be so good if we hit 900 in the final words. We might hit it.
All right. The final word is, let's keep the positivity. Let's go into this and start thinking about how we can connect to people and win in 2026, because that is our next goal. This is the beginning, not the end. And we need to continue to do the hard work. And I know sometimes it feels like sometimes not like what's the right word? It feels it feels ungrateful, like the whole thing, like people don't appreciate us at times. But I do think that we have audiences that do appreciate the work that we do, and we need to continue to do that, even if we feel like it's not going anywhere, because the algorithm is so jacked up every time. But it's hard work that needs to be done, and there's people that are seeing our messages that we don't even know that are seeing it. So let's continue to do the hard work.
We're going to continue to push. So we will see you guys back tomorrow night, at 10 p.m. Same time, same place, right here. And Charlotte, thank you so much. Sylvia, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you, Sylvia, in a couple days. So
I know.
we're
Bye,
gonna have a
guys.
great time in DC. So, all right, guys, thank y'all for joining. Bye, y'all.
Ciao.
Bye.